Welcome to Mariners Fan Central.
Attention, M's fans. Patience has run out and the line has been crossed. A moment of pure frustration from one of our talents in rehab ended in a chaotic scene that everyone is talking about. This act of indiscipline could change the course of the season and how our front office manages the roster. And for you who live and breathe the Mariners, it's crucial to be informed. The only way to access all the details and the complete analysis of what this news means is by subscribing to our channel. Don't be left out. Join our community of faithful fans and subscribe now to get access to everything. Welcome, M's fans, to your most reliable and detailed news source for the Seattle Mariners. Before we dive deep into the news that's shaking up the community, I have a quick and crucial request for all of you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. Click the subscribe button, turn on notifications, because this is the best way for you to get the fastest updates and the most in-depth analysis on our team. I'm dedicated to bringing you exclusive behind-the-scenes information, the kind of analysis that truly matters to those who live and breathe the Mariners. Your subscription is what allows me to continue this work, delivering insights for each and every one of you, the heart of the Mariners faithful. Now, let's get down to business. And today's news, my friends, is something that demands seriousness and a cool-headed analysis despite the emotion surrounding it. We need to talk about Victor Robles. As many of you already know, he's on his rehabilitation journey at AAA Tacoma, aiming to get back in shape and eventually return to the Mariners' main lineup. But what happened last Sunday in a game against the Tacoma Rainiers was, to say the least, shocking. The outfielder found himself in an extremely frustrating situation and unfortunately acted in a way that will surely have consequences. At the end of the 7th inning, Victor Robles was hit by a pitch that, from what I've been able to gather, was intentionally high and inside, aimed at Robles' body. It wasn't just a regular hit by pitch. Sources have confirmed to me that the pitcher's intent was clear: to intimidate. And Robles' frustration, already at a delicate point in his career as he tries to prove his worth, boiled over. He simply exploded. The scene, captured on video, shows the exact moment he throws his bat toward the mound. It wasn't a gesture of contained anger. It was a violent, dangerous, and completely out of control throw. The bat flew, and what followed was a general melee, with teammates and coaching staff trying to restrain him as he tried to get at the pitcher. This kind of behavior is unacceptable at any level of baseball. It's a breach of protocol, a failure to maintain composure under pressure. And for someone in Robles' situation, trying to prove he deserves a spot on the main roster, this was a catastrophic mistake. Baseball, as intense as it can be, values professional ethics and emotional control. What Robles did, throwing the bat toward another player, can be seen as a direct threat, and the league does not tolerate that. The consequences based on precedents from MLB and the minor leagues could be severe. We're talking about a possible suspension, which would further delay his rehabilitation and his return to Major League Baseball. Furthermore, we have to consider the current context of our team. The Mariners have significantly reinforced their lineup since Robles went on the injured list. Players like Josh Rojas and Luke Raley have played important roles in the outfield, and the roster's depth is greater than ever. This puts Robles in an even more precarious position. If, before the incident, he already had a battle to fight for a spot, now, with the imminence of a punishment, that battle becomes almost impossible. Robles' value to the Mariners has always been his speed, his defensive ability, and the depth he offers. But a player who becomes a risk in terms of behavior and discipline may not be worth the roster space. The impact of this kind of attitude goes beyond the field. It affects the perception that the front office, the coach, and the teammates themselves have of the player. Professionalism is the key to longevity and success in sports. The Mariners front office, under the leadership of Jerry DiPoto, has been very clear about the culture they want to build. A culture of discipline, focus, and respect. What happened with Robles goes completely against that philosophy. The question now is no longer when will Robles return, but rather will he return to wearing a Mariners uniform. In my view, this was a defining moment, and unfortunately what we saw was not a flash of passion, but a total loss of control that could cost him his career with the Seattle Mariners. The bat toss was an act of desperation and anger, but the consequences will be measured with professional coldness. The impact of Victor Robles' action is multifaceted and goes far beyond the field. The first and most obvious consequence is punishment. The minor league baseball, MLB, along with Major League Baseball, MLB, has a strict code of conduct. Acts like Robles', which put the physical integrity of other players at risk, are treated with extreme seriousness. The penalty for throwing a bat toward a pitcher is, historically, a significant suspension. It wouldn't be surprising to see Robles suspended for a considerable period, perhaps dozens of games, which would delay or even cancel any chance of him returning to the Mariners this season. And let's be frank, the organization's priority is the team's immediate success, and any distraction or undisciplined player is a liability they can't afford to carry. Looking at Robles' trajectory, this is not the first time he's been involved in controversial behavior. He has a history of being a player with a temper on the edge. But what happened on Sunday crossed the line. In 2023, when he was still with the Washington Nationals, he had some heated arguments with opponents, but nothing compares to the seriousness of throwing a bat. This history, combined with the most recent incident, paints a worrying picture for the front office. The second major issue is the impact on perception. Jerry Dipoto and Scott Servais have worked tirelessly to build a cohesive and professional team environment. A player who loses control this way, even in a rehab game, can be seen as a destabilizing element. The message this sends to the rest of the roster is concerning. The team has come together and fought with remarkable cohesion this season, and introducing a player with this kind of emotional baggage could harm the clubhouse chemistry. In modern baseball, team chemistry and professionalism are as valued as raw talent. The Mariners have already proven they can win with a team-first mentality where everyone sacrifices for the common good. Robles' behavior suggests a focus on me rather than us, and that's something the organization cannot tolerate. The current depth of the roster, as I mentioned, also weighs against him. We have Julio Rodriguez, Mitch Haniger, Dominic Canzone, Luke Raley, and other players excelling. The need for a depth player like Robles has diminished. With the impending punishment, his practical utility completely vanishes, and his roster spot becomes a luxury item the team simply doesn't need. The window of opportunity for him to prove himself on the main field is closing rapidly. This incident not only complicates his return, but, in my opinion, seals his fate. The decision for the front office is now clear. Is it worth keeping a player who has shown to be a behavioral risk, even if he has talent, when there are other reliable and above all professional options? My analysis, based on my knowledge of league operations and the Mariners' philosophy, is that this act by Victor Robles was a point of no return. He wasn't just frustrated with the injury or the rehabilitation. He was, it seems, out of his mind, and the way he externalized that frustration was dangerous and unforgivable for the culture the Mariners are building. The organization has a history of being ruthless with players who don't align with its values, and what happened on Sunday is the definition of a conflict of values. He may have been a useful player in the past, but the cost of having a volatile player on the roster now is too high. This incident serves as a reminder that in baseball, talent only gets you so far. Professionalism, maturity, and emotional control are qualities that define the greats. And unfortunately, at this moment, Victor Robles has failed in all those aspects. And now, Ems fans, I want to know your opinion. What do you think will happen to Victor Robles? Will the punishment be severe? Will his attitude cost him his spot on the main roster? Leave your comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more exclusive content, and hit the bell icon. We'll continue to follow our team closely with seriousness and the passion that drives us.